Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you? Hope you're staying safe. Things are crazy, aren't they? It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Anyway, my whole work schedule's been all upside down and too many other things going on. Lots of stuff. So, we're going to talk to Mark today. I believe you've done this before, so I don't need to really give you my speech, but don't forget this is not an exact science, and it's his show. I let him, hang on, I let, hang on, he's over here yipping. I hope he talks that much the whole time. Let them run the show. They know what you need to hear, maybe not exactly what you want to hear, but we're going to see what he's got to say. He just keeps saying, I love you, Mom, I love you, Mom, I love you, Mom, I love you, Mom. He keeps repeating it over here in my ear. He says that he's saying this to you. Now, this is my right ear, and some of these look backwards. That's where they usually come in anyway. So it may not be, but it'll be one ear at a time. I know a lot of us have ringing in our ears right now. I've had tinnitus for years, but all of a sudden it's flared back up. Don't know what's going on with that, but that's both ears. Be one ear, so you'll hear ringing. The higher, at least for me, the higher pitch the ringing, the higher the guide or whatever is. Like a lower pitch is usually our loved ones, and if it gets to extremely high screeching, it's an archangel for me anyway. It's something like that, trying to get my attention. Tell them, slow down. I can't understand you. Your vibration's too high, or they don't always know how we're perceiving what they're trying to say. So he's in your ear going, I love you. And then he pauses and then he says, Mom. So he's telling me that you probably hear it like, sometimes it'll be like muttering. Sometimes it'll be, when Bob gets close to my ear turns bright red and it burns. It burns because his energy is so strong. He knows what he's doing. When he's really trying to get my attention, you can actually see my ear turn red. So your ear may get warm, tingly, like goosebumps or bug crawling on it, or hair you can't get off, or you're probably going to feel like a hot breath. But it'll just be in one spot. It won't be like a breeze coming the whole side of you. He says he thinks that you're hearing it like low, not moaning, muttering, like kind of like, but you can't understand the words. Anyway, let's not make this a whole long speech here, buddy. But you're hearing it. You may not realize you're hearing it, but you're hearing it. And more than likely, it won't be very loud. So you might be kind of dismissing it or going, what the heck? What's wrong with my ear? He says that ear will probably feel full at that time. But it's like, and then he pauses and then he says, Mom. So you might just catch the mom part, but may not sound like Mom. Pay a little more attention and you'll probably, and tell him, I can't understand you. Say it a little different or whatever. Let them know. Let them know whether you can hear it or not. That helps them on their end know how they can communicate with you better. I'm trying to see what he's trying to show me. They never waste a message, so and it's kind of dim. It's fuzzy. Whatever he's showing me is fuzzy. You need to get closer or clearer or something. He's just showing me when he left. It's like he's putting his hands over his heart, and like boom, he was gone. But he's not. Now, I will say I have a thing about seeing people die because they used to show me exactly all the details, how they passed, and some of them got so horrific, I said, please, I can't do this. I can't do this. So it could be partly my block or because of what I've asked him. So he's just going like this, and then like, boom, he was done, gone. I don't know if that means that his heart stopped because of what happened. Wow. He looks like he's outside. He looks like he's outside, like almost. I'm not 100%. Looks almost like he's in a yard, like by a sidewalk, like on a sidewalk, by a sidewalk. But he's okay, more. I don't know what he's trying to show me, and he's moving very slow when he's doing it. It's like slow motion. I don't know. Did he get shot? Shot or stabbed or something in the back? I can't. He's not showing it clear enough. I don't think he understands that I'm not getting it. He's showing me like he's standing, but he's standing upright, but he's got his head kind of down. And something comes from the back. Oh. Millie. So I'm sorry, I honestly don't know what he's trying to show me. He's standing there with his head kind of down, standing up. Somebody, and something that they have is coming at him from behind. So like somebody's attacking him, and I'm not sure he sees it coming. Well, they're showing me a huge knife, so I don't know if that's just a symbolism. Sometimes they get cryptic with their messages, but anyway, he showed me, like I said, boom, done. Then he showed me this, and it was just like growing and glowing. This big, beautiful angel is the first thing that he saw. Beautiful, beautiful with this. If I could describe the love that comes out of them when I see them come through, it's like it makes me cry. It's just something like we don't feel here. Okay, now, oh, now he's flashing people. Hang on. Slow down, slow down. There was a lady that's like an ant. These pictures are really dim today. Lady that was felt like an ant. I always say feels like because I always say the little lady next door can feel more like a grandmother to you than your grandmother that lives clear across the country that you hardly know. So this lady would be 50-ish. Don't hold me to that. Somewhere higher up there though. So feels like an ant type feeling. Saw her. There was also a young girl, be more like teenage, early 20s, long dark hair, not real straight, but kind of a little fuller, slim looking face. That's all I'm really seeing is the top part that he's showing me. He saw her, so I would say probably a fellow classmate. He says suicide. She left by suicide. It may not even be anybody that you knew. Let me go back to that knife. It could be somebody with a knife in the back. Maybe not a physical knife. Maybe he got, maybe somebody stabbed him in the back, not physically. That's what I'm getting now. Anyway, there's an aunt, there's the girl. There's an older man coming in, feels more like a grandfather type figure, dressed in a very nice suit, tie, hat, business looking attire. Very business-like feeling from this man. He says this man took care of business, always taking care of business. So whoever that is for you, okay, let's get to the grandkid. He says, okay, as far as the grandkid, he says no, not his spirit, but he had a part in, I don't want to say his development. He was with this child's soul before it got here. So there is like a spark in him, if that makes any sense. It is possible. I've not personally run into it, but I've been taught it is possible for somebody to leave and then their spirit or their soul to come back into another family member when they're born. That is possible, but he says no, not this time. And he keeps saying kiss of an angel, kiss of an angel. So the birthmark, whether he kissed it to let you know that he, how do I want to say this? God dang it, Rhonda. That mark is there so that you know he played a part. He had contact with this child. He held this child. They were there together before this child was born. I hope I got something right out of that. That's why the mark is there. So you know that he had contact with this child. But he keeps talking about a spark. So I don't know. If I say it this way, it's going to be really confusing. It's like, no, that won't be right. It's not really a part of him that's in the child, and yet there's an influence of him in the child. Not really a piece of him, but kind of a piece of him. I know I'm going to confuse the hell out of you because I'm confused. So it's not really his spirit or his soul, but there's still a little something. So watch this child. He's laughing. He's laughing. He says, watch this child as it grows up. It will have some of his traits. It will have some of his, all of a sudden the kid will say or do something that is totally like something he did, Mark did. And he's laughing hysterically because you're not going to like it. I think he's going to give him the bad traits. No, he's not giving them to him, but it's going to show. It's going to show, but still, it's not his soul or his spirit. But, oh, he said he's going to influence him. As this child grows up, I don't know how old this child is now. When Almost all little kids and animals, at least dogs and cats, see them. No big deal. They all have their imaginary friend. No big deal. Until they get to be usually around 9 or 10, then they start looking around going, oh, society's going to poo-poo me if I talk about seeing somebody that's really not there. They're going to lock me up, so they shut it down. More and more people are not shutting it down. Everybody's becoming aware. So watch for things that this child will say or do, because this child already knows him. So he'll be waving at the wall, or sitting there talking to somebody, or trying to hand their cookie to the air. It's not really the air. So the child is perfectly comfortable, totally interacting with Mark. He's telling this child, you're not going to grow up and get in trouble like I did. I'm going to make sure of that. So this child has there again, the same birthmark. There again, he's going to be a guide. He's going to be a guide for this child. So some of the things that he didn't learn, or some of the paths that he went down that maybe weren't the best, he's going to try to help guide this child to not do that. Hang on. Okay. Now he looks like he's sitting on somebody's front stoop at their house, and he's got a flower in his hand, and I can't really tell what kind it is, so it may not make any difference, but he's picking off the petals one at a time, like he loves me not, that kind of thing. So watch for any entrance. It doesn't just have to be your house, but that's probably what he's showing, to just have random petals. It could be a whole flower just all by itself, just laying there on the front stoop, or laying on the sidewalk as you walk up. But he's showing petals. He's pulling the petals off and throwing them down there. So one petal, even if you're walking through Walmart and you go through the fake flowers and there's one petal laying on the ground right in front of you, that's going to be a sign from him. You might find them in your house. I have. Crazy. Don't know where they came from. It's amazing what they can do, but it's easier, of course, with the little light things that they can move easier, influence easier. So watch for, you can see it in a movie. I don't care if you see somebody and they've thrown rose petals on somebody's bed. Those individual petals, that's a sign from him. And make sure you validate him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more. That's totally up to you. Oh, okay. He's back over here again. I love you, Mom. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for being my rock. Oh, he's showing himself. He's showing himself behind bars. Did he go to jail at one time? He's showing himself behind bars with this black and white striped suit on, shaking the bars like he's in jail. He's not there now. I don't want you to think that's now. So I'm not sure what he's signifying with that. I just tell what he shows. He knows best. Show me again. I'm not getting it. Okay, this is. He's showing somebody kicking somebody in the butt, literally with their foot. physically, but he's down really, really low. Still got the black and white suit on. Thank you for not kicking me when I was down. So, I hate charades. When they show me pictures like that, it's like, what? He says, thank you for not kicking me when I was down. I had lessons to learn. I didn't do a very good job at learning them. And we do come here to learn lessons. The things that kick us the hardest are the lessons that we're going to learn the best from. Doesn't that suck? He's showing there's still a cloud over your sun, so I don't know how long he's been gone. So, but your sun's not totally covered up. Not sun, S-O-N, not S-U, or S-U-N, not S-O-N. So the sun in the sky is not totally covered up. It's got part of a cloud on it. So he says that you've gotten some of the cloud off. And now he just keeps saying questions, questions. He's got questions, questions, questions. He said he can't answer all of them. He says the only thing that matters is the connection between you and him. Let the rest of it go. Let the rest of it go. Well, that's easier said than done. He wants you to concentrate on the connection between you two. I promise you 1,000%. He can hear you. He can see you. Talk to him. I asked one of my medium friends one time, I said, does Bob hear me? And she says, yeah, until you get too carried away. And he goes like this. It's like, slow it down, Rhonda. And you don't really need to slow it down. I just got a little over the top. They can hear you. He's talking about a white horse and a white knight. Don't know why. He's showing me a ceiling fan in a house. He's up on a ladder and looks like he's unscrewing the light bulb. Like there's a light bulb in the middle of it and he's unscrewing it. So watch, and it doesn't have to be a ceiling fan, but he's showing a ceiling fan instead of just a light. So watch for that light to flicker, or it might dim and come back up, or you might have trouble turning it on. So he's trying to figure out how to do these things. I'm hearing he's playing the song "Let Your Love Flow." You know, let me ask this one. All right, he's playing "Let Your Love Flow" by the Bellamy Brothers. It seems like they always go back to my old music. How would they keep me too young to know that song? So he wants you to play that song. Go Google. This is my piss me off Google shirt. Can't even say it right with these new teeth. Google the words of that song. He wants you to let your love flow. Okay, he's showing a picture of the two of you, and I don't think this is a memory. I don't think this is something you've done, but it's like you're both standing there and you've got your arm out. Your right hand, his left hand. May not make a difference. You're standing there with your arms kind of out like this, holding hands, and it looks like one of my cards, like one of my tarot cards, and the sun's just shining really bright in front of you, and everything's happy, and there's trees, and there's birds, and there's, he says we still have that connection. So Like I said, I don't know how recent his passing is. The more recent the grief, the harder it is to feel some of their energy, which makes no sense to me because that's when you really need it. But the grief seems to kind of block stuff like that out. So hold your hand out and just hold it there and ask him to hold it. And it may take 20 times. Be relaxed, just and see, or do it like this. He's showing this. Doesn't have to be that way. Do it like this. Ask him to hold your hand, and then see if you feel that energy, feel that warmth, or feel tingling, or pressure, or something in your hand. He said he'll do his best. Okay, he's shown me as you're driving down the road too, so I do this a lot. Driving down the road and I'll hold my hand out. So, I really need you right now. Hold my hand. And I can feel it right now. Just I can feel it right here, like it's tingling, or like something's moving on there. Obviously, there's nothing here except him. So I got one of my guides stepping in for some reason. He says, Grandma's here, Grandma's here, and Grandma's there. So Grandma's with you, whoever that Grandma is, and Grandma's with him. All right, he comes over and he kind of gets over here, kind of behind the shoulder, and he puts his arm around me, and he's kind of laying on me, kind of hugging on me. So you should feel that pressure, warmth, tingling, whatever. I don't know how you will receive the energy. Everybody receives it different. His energy will be different. Yours will be different. So than what I feel. But it's like he's leaning back here, so I can feel him pushing, and then I can feel the pressure of his arm around here, and he's leaning into me. He said, "This is what he does to you. You just don't feel it, but you will." He's talking about toe tapping, toe tapping. So you'll also hear what sounds like somebody tapping their toes, like music or nervous. He says just random toe tapping. So it's like maybe like a board, like when somebody's bored and they're tapping their toe. He's not doing it real fast. And I'm not sure how you hear that because toe tapping really doesn't make a lot of noise. He says, "I love you, Mom." So he gets stretching that out again. He said, there's an event coming up. Ooh, I don't know. We can't go to any events. I don't know how soon he's talking about. And it could be, are you guys going to celebrate somebody's birthday online, like maybe through Zoom or something like that? Like live talking to each other with several people? Or you just did? But he's calling it an event. So like more like it's a birthday or anniversary or something like that. He says, I do walk among the angels. And they have cleansed me and protected me. You will know. I'm not sure how he means that, but he says you will know. There's also a smell. He's showing like you're in a bedroom, but there's like a sweet, sweet smell. But I'm not associating it. I'm not associating it with like a certain flower or anything. It's just like a sweet smell, more like something that gets sprayed, or I don't know. It's not a flower. So when you get a whiff of that, now it's showing the bedroom. Doesn't have to always be the bedroom. Can be anywhere. That might be the first place you notice it. Validating, acknowledging, telling you know that that's him, asking to bring you more. That's really important. All right, he's leaving. Love you, mama. Love you, mama. Love you, mama. Love you, mom. Mom, 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 mom. So he's repeatedly saying this to you. You'll get it. You'll hear it, even if it doesn't. The words aren't as clear. You'll get it. Now he's singing "Everything Will Be All Right." I don't know if that's any certain song, but he's singing it. As he's dancing like this, as he's leaving, he's boogieing. He's blowing you kisses. Ah, he says, "I love you, Rhonda." Thank you. We can all use all the love we can get right now. He says the collective is working on the dark energies that are going on down here right now. That's a pretty big message. He said the collectives will win. Okay. Love you, my dear. Thank you for being so patient. Things, like I said, are just topsy-turvy in my world right now. So, see you later. Thank you. Much love to you, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.